आप फिर से तारीख दे रहे हैं? उस तारीख से पहले सड़क पर कोई ट्रक मुझे मारकर चला जाएगा और केस बनेगा रोड एक्सीडेंट का। आप फिर से तारीख दे देंगे और उस तारीख से पहले दामिनी को पागल बनाकर पागल खाने में फेंक दिया जाएगा। और इस तरह ना तो कोई सच्चाई के लिए लड़ने वाला रहेगा, ना ही इंसाफ मांगने वाला। रह जाएगी तो सिर्फ तारीख। और यही होता रहा है मिलॉर्ड। तारीख पर तारीख, तारीख पर तारीख, तारीख पर तारीख, तारीख पर तारीख मिलती रही है, लेकिन इंसाफ नहीं मिला मिलॉर्ड। इंसाफ नहीं मिला। मिली है तो सिर्फ ये तारीख।
This dialogue is from the movie Damini, which was released in 1993. Sadly, little has changed in Indian courts since then. Today we break down why there are so many tarikhs in Indian courts. The answer will actually surprise you. My name is Swapnil Karkare. I am a chartered accountant and an economist, and in today's episode, I am going to analyze the delays in court cases in India. First of all, let's understand the status of all court cases in India's district courts. There are 4.65 crore cases pending in India's district courts. 3.5 crore are criminal and 1.1 crore are civil in nature. Of them, more than 3 crore cases are pending for more than 1 year, which is 66%. There are cases pending since 1950s also. The New York Times headlines stated that at this pace, it could take 300 years to clear the entire backlog. And the problem has only grown worse in the last few years. Between 2020 and now, the backlog has increased nearly 20%. Imagine navigating all these systems for 10 years or more. So how did we get here? There are many theories. The popular one says that India has lesser judges, which is true. India has about 15 judges per million people. The Law Commission suggests that we should have at least 50 million, 50 per million. By contrast, US has 150 and in Europe it is around 220. At the subordinate court levels, vacancy rates hover at 21%, while at high courts it is staggering 33%. Judges are often overwhelmed, especially in states like Uttar Pradesh, where a single judge might even handle 4,000 cases. But this is not a complete picture. A surprising insight emerges when we look at how a case moves through the court system. A groundbreaking study recently tracked the life cycle of real cases in India. Mugdha Mohapatra, Siddharth Raman, and Susan Thomas examined around 147 cases, 77 of check bouncing and 70 of motor accident claim from the states of Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Telangana, and Rajasthan, filed between 2018 and 2022. The analyses are shocking. More than half of the cases analyzed never reach the trial. 70% of check bouncing cases and 54% of motor accident claim cases are disposed of before they reach trial. Now, here's the kicker. The trial phase is actually quite fast. Once all parties are present, cases wrap up in just 3 to 4 months. But before the trial, that's where the nightmare is. Cases spend 9 to 12 months stuck in what is called as pre-trial stage, simply waiting for something basic. Parties showing up, summons being delivered, warrants being executed, so on and so forth. That's right. The biggest bottleneck of our legal system is simply getting people to court. Out of 4.6 crore cases pending, the topmost stage at which the cases are pending is the witness examination section. 84 lakh cases, that's 18%. The next reason is appearance in courts. 80 lakh cases, 18%. The third reason is application hearing. 48 lakh cases, 10%. Followed by process issue, 44 lakh cases, 10%. Fifth main reason is notice or issuing summons. Around 30 lakh cases, 7%. While we imagine high-stakes courtroom drama like shown in the movies might be dragging the cases for long, most of the court's reality lies in clerical work, logistics, and follow-up. The administration is the bottleneck, not the complication of the case. The clerical work and follow up is the nightmare, not the number of judges. Summons and warrants take ages to serve, people delay appearances. In some criminal cases, the accused avoids showing up until a warrant is issued. This case, reported in New York Times, will shed some light. Here's what it reported. The glacial pace of India's judiciary was evident one recent morning in Mathura, a town in northern state of Uttar Pradesh. Hundreds of plaintiffs and defendants wandered aimlessly through the court complex's crowded corridors, while lawyers holding papers under their arms took sips of hot milk and ginger tea. In one corner, a lawyer and police officers joked with a milkman who had been accused more than a decade ago of selling adulterated products. The inspector who filed the case never appeared in the court and was transferred from the town. The milkman Mohinder, who uses one name, has appeared at dozens of hearings anyway. The judge calls his name, the accused raises his hand, the inspector and witness are absent, and another court date is assigned. Why understanding this cause is important? It is important because otherwise we would throw stones at completely different directions. Yes, filling up the vacancies is a task for Indian judiciary and we ought to do that. Agreed. But the historical trend has been poor and we are not able to do it properly. But let's assume, even if we fill up all these vacancies and create an army of judges to dispose of the cases, will we be able to clear the backlog? Probably not. Because the biggest bottleneck that we might still face, despite having more judges, is the clerical part, as we discussed earlier. What will the judges do if parties are not appearing in front of the court? Therefore, it is important to know where are we exactly lacking. In the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business ranking, India was at 63rd place. But under enforcing contract segment, it ranked 163rd. It tells us that we haven't been giving an equal push for honoring each other's contracts, and when those are breached, the redressal mechanisms aren't robust. When we dream of becoming a developed country by 2047 or $5 trillion economy in a few years, the state of judiciary matters. Even if we keep the criminal laws and crimes aside for a moment, we need to build a robust courtroom system so that businesses and commerce function smoothly. We cannot achieve our problems if we can't solve problems of those who want to solve their problems legally. Research shows that as the country progresses, the number of cases increase. Why? The logic is simple. Economic growth leads to more contracts getting signed between businesses, between business and government, between people and government, between people and businesses, so on and so forth. And therefore, there are higher chances of them being breached or broken. Therefore, we need robust systems to manage the workload and dispose the cases as early as possible. Thus, on one hand, we have a clear idea that number of judges need to be increased. Even the economic surveys a few years ago have talked about that. But there is little analysis on where the exact bottleneck lies in the entire life cycle of a case. This new research sheds the light. The solution to it lies in the basics, which needs more efforts than just filling the vacancies. And will the Indian state machinery be able to tackle it? That is a real question. This solution goes beyond ribbon cutting and grand announcements in election rallies, something that politicians like to do all the time. It needs not just political will, but also a little bit of shaking the system kind of approach. This can also go against the political leaders. But if we want to project as a country that respects contracts, as a country that respects businesses, and obviously as a country that respects justice, we need to make a move. Thank you.
Do support this channel. If you have learned something new today, then like it. If you think that this information will be useful for someone else, then do share this video with others. And yes, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Goodbye.